Just today, Chris Smoove put out a video about why point guards should be restricted in 2K My Team. And this is a video response trying to explain why that's wrong. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of opinions on this subject, and this is mine. So I'm going to use a lot of the arguments Chris Smoove made and try to untie those arguments, unwind them. So anyway, if you look at what's one of the biggest reasons why you wouldn't see Kobe, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan playing on the same team today? Well, the salary cap this year is $63 million. If you had those three guys on the same team, you'd already be over your salary cap. So we're talking about a game here. 2K is a game. It's a game for fun. It's not a professional game. It's not a game for money. Sure, there's guys that take it very seriously, but my team, you're putting together ridiculous teams that would never happen in real life. Another reason you wouldn't see Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James on the same team in the first place is because there's no way you could balance those egos. Kobe Bryant could not even exist with Shaq on the same team. Their egos were too great. So if you look at any given team, you need one primary ball-dominant player who's either going to be a dominant point guard, dominant scorer, and, even in the old days, you might see very dominant centers. That's not so common nowadays. But let's get at the idea that LeBron James should not be able to play point guard. Well, the fact is, yes, there is this saying of point forward, and it is a very real thing. They do play at their native position, which is the 3, which is the small forward. But there are many times when you'll see a forward assume the responsibilities of the point guard. There will still be a point guard on the floor at the same time, but they will dribble the ball down the court, have the ball in their hands a lot of the play. They'll find their own shot, or they'll be in a passing role. And you'll see James Harden do this all the time. We've seen Kobe Bryant. A guy we didn't really see this do was Michael. And let me actually get to that. So one of the best point forwards that this game has ever seen was Scottie Pippen. And let me just read a quote from Phil Jackson. Here it is. Scottie was our team leader. He was the guy that directed our offense, and he was the guy that took on a lot of big challenges defensively. So I'm actually missing my Phil Jackson book that is about the Bulls with Michael Jordan and the Lakers with Kobe Bryant. But both of those teams had systems where the point guard was not necessarily the primary ball handler, not necessarily person that was handling the responsibilities of distributing and running plays. So it's completely reasonable for guys to be playing out of position. And let's just get to the real reason, Smoove, like you said, well, why wouldn't the Heat just play LeBron James at point guard? Why did they have guys who were clearly not as good as him, like Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole, playing that point guard position? And here's the thing. You can liken the reason they had those guys playing the point guard position the way they did in a similar reason that Chris Bosh gave up a lot of what he was used to doing when he had to play with LeBron James. So Chris Bosh had to accept a decreased role playing on that Heat team. And what did we see happen to Chris Bosh, who used to be a dominant scorer, a dominant rebounder? We saw him getting sentenced to living outside the paint. And this guy is a 7-foot-tall, 6'11" center power forward hybrid who has a lot of skills. He's got a great mid-range game, but what do we see him doing on that Heat team? We saw him shooting a lot of threes. The reason why he was pushed out of the paint and displaced from his natural abilities and his natural position is to make way for LeBron James so that he could just beast and tank down the lane at will. It's kind of like the role that we see Kevin Love playing with LeBron James now. He's not getting the touches. He's not getting the touches in the paint that he's used to seeing with the Timberwolves. So people have to adjust when you're playing around a magnet like that. So in the Heat's case, with the point guards, they needed a point guard, A, who would accept a small salary. They were paying Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh and fitting them all on one team. That is an amazing feat, just from a financial standpoint and from an ego standpoint. So they couldn't have yet another guy at the point guard position, which is a very dominant position in this league right now, having an ego, demanding the ball, demanding to run the play, demanding to take a set number of shots every day. They needed a guy like Mario Chalmers who would accept his role on that team, which was to be fourth in line, maybe even fifth in line at times. So, that is just one of the logistical reasons why you wouldn't have seen the Heat playing LeBron at point guard. And then there's another reason. There's another great reason. That's because the point guard is such an explosive, elite athletic position in this league. And most point guards in this league, if they're not athletic beasts, like Damian Lillard is an athletic beast, but he can shoot. But if you're not a beast like Russell Westbrook or like Derrick Rose, you're expected to shoot the three very well. You're out there to space the floor, and you're out there to take care of the rock. But these guys, they're so fast, they would get around a forward. They could not be guarded by somebody 6'8". LeBron James is said that he could guard any position, but it would be very difficult for LeBron James to keep up with Russell Westbrook. There's a lot of just matchmaking defensively. Not that these players, they're playing their positions where they play, not only for offensive reasons, but also for defensive reasons. So we're trying to translate a real life game into a video game. In the video game, it's a fantasy. That's all it is. So let it be a fantasy. You can never, ever compare my team to something that you would see in the regular season in the NBA. A, salary. B, egos. I mean, it's a game. It's for fun. So if people are playing LeBron James at the point guard position, then they have somebody else who's equally as good, probably, playing the three. So, that's just my take on things. And I love your channel, Smoove. It's a lot of fun watching you play. You're one of my favorite guys. I'm disappointed when you don't put out videos every single day. I watch your videos every single day, and, it gives me a good laugh, like, all the time. So, good luck. I just want you to know, and everybody out there, that I don't agree with your position on this. Let people play people at any position that they want to play them in 2K.